When you stop thinking for just a moment, simply stop the worries and anxieties to start feeling into the essence of your desired reality, the bliss, the joy, the fulfillment. It comes pretty much naturally, without having to think about it. Here I talk of going beyond the mental and the expectations, into feeling and sensing, into simply feeling the essence of your being and the reality that surrounds you. Which means that creation is no longer mental and thought-based. It is based on the feeling beyond the human words, structures, and definitions. It is as simple as stopping the commotion, the thoughts, the worries and anxieties, starting to feel into the essence and letting it sink deeper and deeper inside of your entire being. As not only this feeling of fulfillment will improve your health, it will also help you become more optimistic about things, less worrying, having a more open view which is no longer limited to a mental, linear human perception. Sometimes things happen, and sometimes you cannot have control over it. What you can have control over is where you go from there, what you choose to transform the problem into. If you choose it so, it can be as simple as sprinkling alchemy dust on the problems to create a very graphic picture, and creating your own solutions. It can be as simple as you desire it to be, but please do not misinterpret those words. This doesn't mean everything is done. I can just sit there and wait for the problems to go away. It simply means to consider these as already resolved and the solution will show up to you. To sense into the potential solutions through the feelings and not the thoughts, and allowing this solution to come to you gracefully. You are consciousness, therefore you are the creator. You choose how this has to work for you, as whatever you believe becomes your reality. It is therefore yours to choose how you prefer your reality to work for you. But please do not try to mentally understand this, as it cannot be grasped by the human mind. Feeling into the essence is the key, without trying to define it in human words or try to place it in a square little box. This is something that is completely beyond what the human mind could ever grasp. You do not have to reject everything that is in your mind, just not let it be the focus. You do not have to try to convert yourself from mental to sensory, simply relaxing into the knowingness that you already are and always have been a sensory being, a being of consciousness. Relaxing into the knowingness that you do not have to work through it, nor try to mentally figure it out. Simply allowing what is natural, knowing it as already done, and stopping to worry about all of this as you know yourself as a creator, as pure consciousness. Therefore, everything you allow becomes. Do not get this wrong. There is still the mind and the human thoughts, yet beyond all of this there is your body of consciousness and your senses that are beyond the mind. Knowing yourself as already being beyond all of this, feeling the essence of the bliss that all of this procures, and letting this bliss sink in deeper and deeper inside of your being. It is not either the mental or the senses, it is both at the same time, yet you can choose which one you identify with. Depending on your experience with it, it can happen in one single breath, yet it may take time for you to get used to it. I remember in the past I had to close my eyes, stop thinking and simply allow my awareness to be placed onto my non-linear senses, letting the feeling of fulfillment and wholeness sink deeper and deeper inside of me. And yes, it doesn't take much focus but more relaxation. The more you relax into it, the deeper it sinks inside of your being. Now that I am more used to it, it takes one single breath of awareness to get back to it whenever I feel the need to. Worrying about how you are going to do things in your life will not be helpful, as all it does is draining your energy and focusing your awareness onto the problems. As you slowly allow your awareness to be placed onto the potential solutions, all you have to do is relaxing into the knowingness that the solution is already there. Once you assume it to be so, The energies start shifting direction and begin to serve what you have chosen in your assumptions. Things may not come to you right away, yet the perfect thing always comes up. All it takes is for you to relax into the simplicity of your consciousness. Not trying to think about all of this, but allowing the essence to sink deeper and deeper within your being. Allowing the passion of your soul for its own existence to be felt. We are not here trying to make the problems go away. We are simply shifting the way we approach these from a completely different perspective. Then, not just as a mental linear being, but also as a divine sensory being, the river flow of your life will pass through you with allowance, ease and grace. As you allow yourself to sense into this, simply immerse this feeling inside your being. Integrate the essence of it in the deepest place of your being, the ineffable core of your existence. And this is therefore what you will radiate in your consciousness as being your reality. It isn't much about thinking of it as being there, but more feeling, sensing, living it as your existential reality. And then you realize that you no longer need words to describe or define it. You no longer need to think about the sizes, the shapes, the colors, the details, simply sensing into the feeling of that fulfillment, the fulfillment of your dream home, your unlimited income, the partner of your desires. It only takes one breath and no thought to feel into the essence of that reality. As you take time to sense into your knowingness, your sense of imagination, your sense of creativity, without thinking about it, without mentally trying to access those senses, simply by knowing these are already here, and allowing yourself to open your consciousness to it, by getting the feeling, the essence. Anytime you are looking for answers or solutions, find the feeling, the essence of it as being already here. There are always solutions to anything. There are always 1,000 ways to do anything. As you allow your heart's passion to be felt, sensed, you are also allowing it to be expressed through the human facet of your being. This creative expression is what sprinkles alchemy dust onto the problems and questions you may have, creating your own answers, creating your own solutions. Your master self doesn't care about anything much other than enjoying the experience of its own existence and sharing it with the human facet of your being. Your human self has many desires, and only your soul's passion for its own existence can make it so. As you continue to sense, feel the passion of your soul, integrate the entire essence, the feeling of it, you will also allow yourself to open up more and more to this passion for existence. And that very passion is what is likely to attract much more fulfilling experiences. And if you please, sense beyond all the words that were said here. Sense into the essence. Do not focus on the words, but the feeling of all this, the fulfillment and bliss that it creates, and integrate the essence of this feeling. Let this essence immerse itself deeply into your being, and then you will realize that you do not need the words nor the human intellectual explanations, because you get it beyond the words. Let's wrap this up into one essence. Let's call this the master sense. Not trying to get a mental high, not trying to get to a higher level of consciousness or awareness, because you know there is no higher nor lower level. There is simply you, your awareness, and what you choose beyond the words through your divine senses. Many have been trapped in the mind. Everything has become mental for them, and they forgot the natural way they could realize the master within. They forgot they didn't need to mentally willpower everything. It is actually simpler to relax into your divine senses and allow what is natural to flow on its own. And I must insist, please do not focus on the mental and intellectual understanding of all this, as these are simply distractions. Focus on the feeling, the senses, the essence, and you will see that it is actually much simpler when you go beyond the mental into the senses. And yes, as I have said, it is all one breath of awareness away. Immersing into your divine senses, you no longer need words to explain concepts that are beyond the limited human mind. You get it through your intuitive senses, because that is the most natural way you can experience this type of knowingness. It is extremely easy to get it instantly once you assume all of this to be the easiest and most graceful experience you could ever have.